Okay, before I begin this video, all of you know about my long-standing history with suicidal ideations. You also know about my long-standing history with like dark feelings and dark thoughts. But I want to make this absolutely clear. At the time of making this video, I do not have any suicidal ideations, nor do I have any violent intent towards anyone else. And I want to make that clear because what I'm about to reveal has become so much bigger than I anticipated with regards to proving how and why gangstalking is real. Okay, so getting into it, I want to start with basically what the crux of this video is. So I'm going to start in the middle. So basically, after the police had visited, due to a particular incident in September involving myself and somebody attempting to break in, after the police had visited, or during the police visit 3 days later, one of the police officers told me that Emma Logan was moving out on the Wednesday, on the following Wednesday. This was like, hang on a second, let me just see, because this was back in September, so I got to look back through this. So hold on. Yeah, so this was in September, right? So the police had visited me on Sunday. That was 3 days after the incident in which Emma Logan, a friend of hers called Ryan, I think his name is, tried to break down the door in here. So that was 3 days after the incident the police visited. The police told me that Emma Logan was moving out on the 10th. And I'm thinking, bullshit already, because like evictions don't work like that. So I knew it was bullshit, but I still asked my landlords anyway whether or not Emma Logan was moving out, given the incident that actually happened. So I asked my letting agents, got no answer. Asked my landlords, got no answer, until on the 9th of September, I get an email from my landlords saying that in the interest of my safety, they were going to serve me a Section 21, which they proceeded to do online, right? They did it via email. And I also said to them, I'd prefer a physical copy, that is signed and everything. They refused to give me that. They refused to give me a physical copy, with signatures and everything that I could sign. But they did give me an online copy, and I already thought, okay, this is bullshit already. So like, why are you going to offer me a Section 21 online and then not give it to me in a hard copy in person? So already I smelled a rat. So it's after like about a month or so of working with the council, working out a budget, working out where I was going to move to. I made it clear I was willing to up the budget and move to anywhere in the country. Made that clear. After all of that, I get advice from Citizens Advice Bureau to pursue legal advice. Okay, so this is what I did today. Today, I went down to Brighton and Hove Trust, where they do legal advice for somebody in my position with Section 21s. And the legal team, well, the legal advisor that I was sitting in front of, they basically said the same thing that the council was saying, essentially that with the Section 21, even after the Section 21 expires, the landlords would have to bring it to court, which could take months to clear because the courts are backlogged. So even with the Section 21, it would have taken about like what, an extra couple of months at least to get me out of the property legally, because then they would have to get the bailiffs involved. So yeah, that was like basically regardless of, if the Section 21 was valid, it would have taken until February to actually get me out of the building. Now, I'm going to reference something that the advisor actually told me about what is required in order to make a Section 21 valid. Okay. So in order to make the Section 21 valid, I would need the energy performance certificate with the date it was taken, I would need all the info on the deposit paid for my tenancy, which was paid by the council. I would need a how to rent guide, including the date and when it was given. And also I would need the tenancy agreement itself, which I'm sure I have copies of anyway, but like it's all of the paperwork. It's not just one or the other of the paperwork. All of this paperwork has to be present just before or just after the surrender tenancy is given, right? And from what I have been told, without all the paperwork, the Section 21 is not valid. So we've begun in the middle. I asked my landlords and letting agents, is this person who tried to endanger me and use somebody else in Woodingdean to do it, is this person, because they're fucking cowards, you all know this. So are the people who tried to scare me in a way that I couldn't control going to move out of this building on the 10th of September? The second I ask, I am offered the Section 21 or an invalid version of it in a bid to intimidate me into silence. The Section 21 is not valid. They only offered me that to try to scare me out of asking questions. So let's go back to the beginning. I've started with the middle. Let's go back to the beginning. The beginning is that the Logan family orchestrated a plan. One of them, I think it was a teenager, said, we need her to be scared in a way that she can't come back from. And that's what led to this Ryan person trying to break in here. Now, after that, it took the police 3 days to show up. I gave the police officers the business about that. I dragged them to the fucking floor and I said, the next time shit like that happens and somebody busts through my door, whatever happens, happens. The law be damned. Okay. I let them know right off the rip. I said, if anybody does that shit with me, the law be damned. Simple as. Okay. So that's how I left it. And it was after that incident, it was after that 3 days in which the police took to show up, that they gave me that bullshit story about Emma Logan moving out on the 10th, which was of course a lie. So I challenged my landlords about it. Once again, I challenged the landlords about it. And instead of answering the question, they served me an invalid Section 21 in the interest of my safety. Let me put that down for you in lay terms. My landlords and letting agents knew that there was an orchestrated plan to scare me, which could have endangered my life. They know this, and under the guise of protecting my safety, they serve me an invalid Section 21 to prevent me from moving out. This is trafficking. This is trafficking. There is, like, they could serve me the Section 21 right now with the appropriate paperwork. But everything that they did is in black and white. There is no coming back from this. There is no coming back from this. So after the Logan family orchestrated this plan to try to scare me, because I wasn't scared enough for everybody's satisfaction, the landlords tried to pile that shit on to stop me from asking questions and so that they could get their money. This is not normal behavior. I don't care what's going on. This is not normal behavior. And this is what leads me to believe that gang stalking is a lot more widespread than I thought. Because I thought it was just like a few select people. I'm thinking, no, it's only a few select people that know about it. And even then, that's only because people like me are connected to the gang stalkers, either by blood or by association, right? So there are more people out there being gang stalked than I actually thought. For this shit to be happening is crazy. That is not a normal thing to do. So you threaten somebody that you yourself have tried to section through being paranoid schizophrenic. Like, you've literally tried to intimidate a vulnerable person into not asking questions by serving them a Section 21 in a bit, like making them think that they're being moved out of a building before they're ready. And in order to manipulate the situation so that you can continue getting rent money from somebody that you know is vulnerable, that is fucking trafficking. That is financial abuse. That is psychological abuse. That is corruption. And on top of that, not only are you involved in trafficking, like legitimately involved in that trafficking shit, not only are you doing that, you're doing that on behalf of a bunch of people that are supposed to be innocent, that have sworn up and down that they're innocent, that they haven't done anything wrong. You're doing that on behalf of a bunch of people who knowingly tried to intimidate me into what? Ill health? Sectioning? Physical hospitalization? What? So not only are you siding with people that are endangering my safety, you're endangering my safety yourself so that you don't have to miss out on rent money. Gangstalking is real. Gangstalking is fucking real. And if you need evidence of what I'm talking about, Fabienne Deacon, Facebook. I talk about it all online. Emma Logan's been online showing everybody my social media and playing crazy like she don't know what's going on. If she can do that, if she can go on my social media, if the whole of fucking Woodingdean can go on my social media, you can go on my social media. Go onto my Facebook and you will see a redacted version of those emails. Gang stalking is 1,000% real. All I wanted, I didn't ask for much. All I did was I said that the hate crimes should stop, that the children should stop using racial slurs against me, that they should stop terrorizing me because they're scared of a laugh. That's all I asked for. That is all I asked for. All I asked for was the acknowledgement that just because you're scared of melanin, it doesn't give you the right to terrorize other people. I didn't ask for much. I didn't ask for much. But no, that was too much to ask for. So what followed was 4 years in which sometimes the harassment got so bad that there were suicidal ideations. And there were attempts by me to section myself so I could get away from these people. These are the people that the landlords chose to side with so that they can continue pocketing rent money. They get, like, my landlords could give me the Section 21 right the fuck now. There is no coming back from this. All I wanted was to not be terrorized. And if I wasn't going to be if I was going to continue to be terrorized, one of us has to go. I was making it so easy for my landlords and my letting agents. I said, I'll go. I could have went and another family could have come in here. I have made it so fucking easy for everyone. And it's like, even a simple question like, is this person moving out? I'm not even telling these people to move out. I didn't even tell them to move out. The police opened up their fucking mouth and spouted that lie. I didn't even tell nobody to move out. I didn't even tell anybody you got, like, the Logan family got to go. I never said that. All I said was, the police told me that they were moving out. Is that true? Fake Section 21. Like, what are you doing? Trafficking. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Maybe it's not the type of trafficking that the likes of Epstein were doing or the likes of Trump were involved in. Maybe it's not that type of trafficking, but it's trafficking. Because how the fuck are you going to go out of your way to block somebody from leaving, claiming that you care for their safety? This demonstrated, like that email, look at those emails. They demonstrated that the landlords and the lettings agents were 1,000% on the side of the Logan family. And on top of that, two things. One, I think the Logans broke in here today when I was out and they were fucking around with my laptop. They were fucking around with my laptop, trying to see if there's anything that they could see that meant that I would hurt them. They should have thought of that before terrorizing me for 4 years. So they broke in here fucking around with my laptop because that's what they do. That, like I said, arrogance. It's the arrogance that comes from white privilege. That's what the fuck they do. It's arrogant shit. Although I have to admit, black people that have broken into my premises, brown people that have broken into my premises, just as arrogant. So maybe it's not a white thing. Maybe it's a perp thing. Maybe it's an antisocial personality disorder thing. Maybe it's that. Maybe it ain't got shit to do with race. But let's continue, okay? So they broke in here today when I was out, fucking around my laptop. That's how I knew somebody had been in here. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, I can't even remember what I was going to say. I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, like, I can't remember what the second thing was, but the landlords and the lettings agents, like Brent Mind, had been protecting the last gangstalkers back in London. My lettings agents and my landlords here have been protecting these people. I don't care which organization you're talking about. The same shit that's fucking trafficking. I don't care what anyone says. That's fucking trafficking. Coercive abuse to the point where somebody feels like they have to section themselves or leave or even die. Trafficking. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. How are you going to side with the people that are, trying to scare me? Trying to scare me for what? They could have minded their fucking business and stopped terrorizing me. And that brings me to the second thing. Now I remember, the Logans are being paid to live here. Not by the council, but by the gangstalkers. They're being paid to stay there. And ain't no fucking allegedly either. I'm not saying allegedly. I'm not saying allegedly. They're being paid to stay there and fucking terrorize me. By which type of gangstalkers, I'm not sure. It could be MI5. It could be MI6. It could be secret police. It could be Freemasonry. Again, I've got family members that know people who are Freemasons, and I've got family members who are kind of on the top of the pyramid in civil service, right? So it could be any of those things. I know my gang stalking is military in nature. And I know that the Navy in particular are close to this shit. The Navy, the National Crime Agency, and MI5 are close to my case. So that's why the Logan family is still here, because they're getting paid to stay there. And I believe the landlords are being paid to keep me there as well. That's what I think is going on. And on top of that, they're being paid to try to terrorize me on top of the Logans terrorizing me. Again, look at the evidence on my Facebook. Shit ain't normal. So all of these details, this is how they get you. This is how gangstalking gets you. They embed their behavior. They embed their terrorist behavior within the finer details to make it seem boring to talk about or to make it seem minor to talk about. That's how they get away with it. The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. And the irony of this family trying to make me scared in a way that I can't control. They've just made themselves look guilty as fuck in a way that they can't come back from. Both them and the letting agents and the landlords, which is why I had to start by saying I'm not suicidal, nor do I have any designs on violently attacking people. If anybody comes to me with any bullshit, I will defend myself. But I have no desire to go out looking for trouble. I know what I said. I want to fight. I want to fight. I want revenge. All big and bad and shit. I know what the fuck I said. All big and bad and all that shit. But hear what, right? The greatest revenge I will ever get will always come at the hands of the people who terrorized me in the first place. They will always be their own worst adversaries, which is great for me because I ain't got to do shit. I don't have to do a damn thing but tell the truth. And that's it. Boy, You couldn't make this shit up. You could not make this shit up. So it looks like that unless the landlords or the lettings agents want to make this shit valid, looks like I'm not going anywhere. And it's not thanks to me, it's thanks to them. And it's thanks to the gang stalkers. And now the perps upstairs, the Logan family are finding out what it is to truly win. They're finding that out. And they're finding out that victory is not sweet when you're a gang stalker. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to see shit you don't like. So yeah, they fucked that up royally. They really fucked that up. I can't even lie. There's no coming back from this. No coming back from this. Got to take the biggest L in the world, mate. So yeah, I was gonna go, but I don't know what else I'm gonna say. I don't know what else I was gonna say. Yeah, but I think that's it for the time being. But yeah, every so often, the gang stalkers do something that's so obvious that that like the most fucking deluded fucking head in the sand people can't deny the shit. Oh, also there's been some street theater referring to Glastonbury, which is where one of Pauline's abusers lives. So there's been some street theater to do with that as well. Street theater involving an alleged pedophile that the Freemasons cheated into raping and abusing people and trafficking people. And they're bragging about that too. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Street theater, and that's what you're bragging about. That's, oh, this whole thing's a mess. This whole thing is a mess. Again, there's no coming back from this for anybody. That's why, just in case, I want to let you guys know again, I have no designs on killing myself or killing anyone else or hurting anyone. Well, hurt someone else if it's in self-defense, but until somebody comes to me first, never that. Never that. Because these people are going to get desperate. If they feel like they can't intimidate me and they feel like they can't anger me to the point where they can take advantage or benefit from it, they're going to get desperate enough to try something else. I never underestimate my perps ever. I never underestimate them ever. That's something that I never do. So yeah, that was from me. And yeah, Marsha the Great out. Take care, my fellow TIs. Bye bye.